everything. Good afternoon, everyone. I call to order our city council meeting scheduled for today, July 10th. Roll call, Ms. Adams, please.
Mayor Clea McCaw.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Carolyn Umphrey.
Present.
Councilmember Faye Jackson.
Present.
Councilmember Angelica Landry.
Present.
Councilmember Brian Myers.
Present.
Councilmember Mark Rodriguez.
Present.
Mr. Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll have our invocation by Chaplain Chuck Carlson of the Sierra Vista Community Church. And after he's concluded, we'll have our pledge of allegiance by Councilman Myers. Please stand.
Yes, please stand. Oh, Heavenly Father, you are an awesome God. You're a loving God. You've never quit loving us. Father, you're an eternal God, and you've sent your Spirit to work in us and through us and open our eyes to the purposes you have for us. Thank you, Lord, for these council members, these people who work hard to make our city go and grow. And so, Lord, we're trusting in you. May we all grasp that you are our shepherd and you really care for us deeply. And henceforth, we don't miss a beat because you are watching over us. And so we can say, I have all I need because the shepherd meets our every need. And we can trust the shepherd because he eagerly takes us to rest in green meadows, providing a place to sleep well, and Lord, we all need more sleep. And we also thank you that you lead us beside peaceful streams, and that reduces our stress, and Lord, thank you for that. Thank you for looking over us. And Lord, you can renew our strength day by day as we learn to lean on your grace and your mercy. And we thank you, Lord. Thank you for guiding us, all of us, on the right paths, and so then we can honor you, honor your name, honor your holy name, and honor the work that you've given us to do. And we pray that in Jesus' name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Chaplain. And we'll go to item number 1, acceptance of agenda. Councilman Rodriguez.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Mayor, I move to accept the agenda for the regular city council meeting of July 10th, 2025, as written.
Second.
Been properly moved and second. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? Hearing none, seeing none, it is passed. Next item is our city manager report. Sir.
Thank you, Mayor McCaw, members of the council. Your next regularly scheduled work session scheduled for 3 p.m. Tuesday, the 22nd of July, here in the council chambers. And of course, then your next regular meeting is Thursday, the 24th, 5 p.m., also here in the council chambers. A number of projects to go over with you tonight. The bus shelter enhancements that's funded by the Federal Transit Administration, those bids are due on July 15th. The RFP for the solar-powered e-bike charging station has been out. We did receive 3 proposals, and those are currently under evaluation. The Sierra Vista Municipal Airport Apron and Taxiway J rehab project, we have received bids from 2 vendors, and we're awaiting award pending approval from FAA, which is expected soon. The shared use path from State Route 92 to Avenida Cochise, or on State Route 92 from Avenida Cochise to Foothills Drive, also FTA funded. That project is now kicked off and is expected to be completed in about 6 months. Len Roberts Park pathway repairs and replacement are complete. Annual street maintenance for the year is complete. The CDBG grant-funded Montebello Fire Hydrant Improvement Project is in progress and is expected to be completed next month. Garden Avenue Streetscape Project, as you know, is being worked on there, and there's some detours, so folks need to be careful around there. And that should be completed in December of this year. The MLK reconstruction project from Avenida Escuela to State Route 90 is also complete. I just received May's sales tax report from the state, and for the year, we're down $43,555, which is minus 0.17%. So pretty much flat, like it's been running all year. Mr. Felix and I have figured out that if the legislature hadn't helped us in terms of getting rid of the real property rental tax, we would be up fairly significantly for the year if that was in place. So thanks to the legislature and the governor for helping us with that. And then finally, some good news. Laura just texted me. The 8, 9, and 10-year-old Little League Baseball State Tournament begins tonight here in town. So we'll have 14 teams from around the state, and they'll be playing over the next 7 days. So we'll have a number of people around town, and hopefully that'll be helpful to our restaurants and hotels. So appreciate everybody's efforts in bringing that here to town. So that's great. And that's all I have tonight. Thank you, Mayor McCaw.
Excellent. Any questions, comments for our city manager? All right. We'll go to our next item. Item number 2, our consent agenda. Mayor Pro Tem Humphrey. I will recuse myself from this vote since Mona is part of this. Yeah, she's part of it. Yes, ma'am.
Understood, yeah, I appreciate what she's doing. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that the consent agenda consisting of the minutes of the work session of June 16th, 2025, and June 24th, 2025, the special city council meeting of June 24th, 2025, the regular council meeting of June 26th, 2025, the special city council meeting of July 1st, 2025, resolution 2025-055, appointment of Teresa Malone, Leigh Morgan Muckey, and Ramona McCaw to the Industrial Development Authority, said terms to expire December 31st, 2031, and Resolution 2025-056, designating David J. Felix, Chief Financial Officer, as the person authorized to sign and submit the city's annual expenditure limitation report, FY 2026, be approved.
Second.
And I just,
Okay,
sorry.
Go ahead.
I wanted to thank our president of the IDA, Dimitri Simonton. He worked really hard getting these last 3 recruits because we've been struggling to have a quorum, which is why we canceled the last couple meetings. So I want to thank all 3 of the new board members, and I look forward to working with them. Thank you.
You're welcome. Then you want to call for the vote? Or I call for the vote?
Where's that Nathan?
Nathan, do I call for the vote or she calls
Does
for
he
it?
have to
Then I
recuse
recuse myself.
He's not voting for
He
this.
recused himself.
You could still call for the vote,
You
sir.
can
Okay.
still call for the vote, you just don't vote.
Yes, sir. So I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? It's passed. Thank you. Thank you, sir. And we'll go to, thank you, ma'am. Public hearing, item number 3, Councilwoman Landry.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that Resolution 2025-057, codification of code ordinances and declaring a 30-day public record, be approved.
Second?
Been properly moved in second. Staff report, Ms. Adams.
Mayor McCaw, members of council, one of the responsibilities of the city clerk's office is to have ordinances of general and/or permanent nature codified into the city code of ordinance. What that means is incorporating that into the permanent record of the city of Sierra Vista. This process is a 2-part process. It starts tonight with a resolution and a 30-day public comment period, and if passed tonight, 30 days from now-ish, it will come back to you as its own ordinance for final approval. This codification process in no way affects the effective date of the ordinances that we're codifying. It is merely administrative so that we can print out our hard copy code books that we do keep sporadically around the city. But all of the code ordinances that you pass go to the online code immediately after passage. So that's the official code that people are able to access throughout the year so that it is the most updated. We just don't do a print job every time you pass something. So that is this process, and if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Excellent. Any questions, comments for City Clerk? I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? It's passed. Next, we go into new business. Item number 4, Councilwoman Jackson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that Resolution 2025-058, supporting the purpose and intent of the 2025 updated Plan for Prosperity and Economic Development Framework be approved.
Second.
Been properly moved in second. Staff report, sir.
All right, Mr. Mayor and Council, it's our pleasure to be here. I also want to point out we've got Michelle Hagel from the Economic Development Commission in the back. So we made a couple updates, but we'll walk ourselves through really kind of a quick review from the past on the Plan for Prosperity, the SWOT, and we'll hit the objectives, and then we'll turn it over for questions and comments. All right, so just a quick review. This is 2018. So when I got here, we actually had the 2013 version of the Plan for Prosperity, and it's kind of changed over time. That was a consultant that came in and worked. In 2018, that was one of our first tasks that we took on with a series of stakeholders, business owners, educators, and the like, and that's what developed the 6 objectives that you see in 2018, or listed on the 2018, and then, of course, that was brought to council. And then now we've rotated through to the 2025, and really that's been focused working with the Economic Development Commission. And you had Dr. Gary Packard, the former chair, come and speak in December. And really the next slide or two are kind of a rehash or reset, kind of where we go. But I just want to give you a little bit of history of where we've kind of come and gone on the plan. So this is a quick snapshot of the updated strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Really just a framework to allow us to think about where we're going, the things that we can work on, and then, of course, there's clearly a set of external threats that we will attempt to mitigate, but we can't directly impact along the way. But you'll see many of the opportunities, the West End, really a focus on entrepreneurship, space, tech capabilities, and those things will be reflected in the plan itself. So from Tuesday till now, we've got 6 objectives. We took the previous focus on Fort Huachuca, we actually shortened it down. With support the missions and growth of Fort Huachuca. Support the missions really talks about the current set, where we are today, and we still wanted to maintain kind of that future focus looking towards the growth of Fort Huachuca. So we ended up with those 6 objectives. I didn't mention on Tuesday, that photo is our Amazon distribution center, if you haven't been out to take a look at it. So it's kind of fun to see that one pop up.
You can call it that now.
Oh, yeah, we can say
We
it
can
out loud.
say it out loud? You just said it out loud. I mean,
I did say it. I think it was in the paper, but yeah. I think we've been released. I guess we have now. So
Yeah.
they still don't have a name on it, so we didn't put it on there. But I thought it was a great picture.
To the 1,000 people that are watching.
that's out the bag.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm in trouble now, Joe. So really, the first one we went back and looked at. I think there were 4 or 5 sub bullets. And between Tuesday and now, the staff kind of took a look and refined those. But really, it goes back to, again, maintaining those partnerships and engaging all of the folks, whether they be at the state level or our congressional or our military leaders. We clearly want to continue to work with Fort Huachuca, which is the second bullet, as we move together into the future. And then really the last one focuses on the future and opportunity. So hopefully we captured kind of the intent of the council from Tuesday. Next one, of course, is the airport, and this is where we start to move in, and I didn't say it up front. What I do appreciate with this plan, and really we started in 2018, is the ability to not just focus on the one or two of us, quote, that are working on economic development. But really this plan represents the cross work and pollination across the entire staff. So clearly this one I spent a lot of good time with Sharon working forward, but you'll see elements with Parks and Rec and Laura and her great team, and the same thing with Matt and Community Development. So this really does encapsulate kind of that whole of government approach to economic development. Really, the 2 on the top have been funded, both in the budget, whether it's the 203-acre effort or the Part 433 license. So we continue to work through those with the Corps of Engineers. The third bullet really talks about the future and how we set ourselves up for both the spaceport, how do we maximize that, and how do we maximize the 203 acres. Because I will offer to you there will be significant infrastructure cost to use that land, whether it be sewer, electric power, roads, and those types of things in the future. But this gives us kind of a good framework to walk ourselves forward. And then the last one goes into a workforce and our tremendous partnerships, whether it be Cochise College, University of Arizona, Arizona at Work, and all the other folks that really kind of move us forward. Because again, from an aerospace perspective or a space perspective, we're clearly going to need a different workforce. We've got a great resource with the current one between Fort Huachuca and the high-tech workforce, and whether we take soldiers as they transition out, give them the technical skills to work as a space technician or some other, I don't have a better name for it, so that's kind of what we're calling it, but to support Black Star and into the future. Next one falls into Mexico, our great neighbors to the south in Sonora. I've gone back and looked. The reality is we know there's a significant economic impact in shopping. What happens is our technology does not allow us to capture that. So Placer AI does not capture our counterparts' phones. They have not worked through the Mexican FCC, shall we call it. So there's some studies that are out there that have been 10 to 20 years old. And that's kind of where the two in the middle really talk about is, do we need to do a study? Do we need to have a relook? We've clearly, if you just drive around town, we know there's an impact. But as they cross the border, what's the impact both to us and Cochise County? So really that kind of goes into that explore the potential economic impact. Clearly we want to maintain those relationships, sister city relationships with our counterparts. And then ultimately, how do we set conditions with our local businesses to both attract, retain, and how do we continue to work through that one? Now, this one's a broad one in the fact that it talks about engagement, but is very much focused on entrepreneurship and business engagement. So how do we work through the businesses that are currently here, and then how do we set them up for the future? And really that first bullet, when you look at in total, Moonshot, Big Idea Blitz, which was an internal effort, and then the partnership with University of Arizona Center for Innovation. And that goes into setting the ecosystem for our future entrepreneurs and to bring those entrepreneurs out and then give them the tools that they need to grow their business. The next couple are really that continuation that we've done with Matt McLaughlin and Community Development on the West End and the West Sierra Vista Grant Partnership. How do we continue to engage and work through that? And then the last one, of course, goes into additional opportunities as the environment changes. There are different players in this, and how do we continually evaluate that to move forward? We've already talked about the state tournament, so I guess I'm done with this one. But really, that is kind of the basis. And Laura and her team and her tremendous partnerships with our local leagues have yielded some tremendous opportunity and tremendous success, as you can see. But we're also going to look forward to things like working with the Southern Arizona Sports Tourism and Film Authority. I got that from Tuesday, so I write things down. But, for instance, we took the CCTEC and the city stuff to the World Baseball Classic that they did in Tucson. So international event, international players, folks from all over the community. So how do we continue those relationships? And then Laura and I are looking forward to an event that is looking at both regional and national tournaments and bringing Sierra Vista to that conversation. So as the team has done amazing work through now, up through probably the state of Arizona, how do we take those next steps? There's elements in this that include the master plan and seeing those things built out to full fruition so that Parks and Rec has the full inventory to go after all of that, and then really rounds out to really the future of tourism and how do we set conditions for that. The last one really comes back into the marketing and engagement, and I think this one would be where we would have a great relationship with our communications team as they move forward on both the products and the execution, and how do we work with Adam and his folks. Really, clearly, there are some negative perceptions that still surround us. How do we work our way through that? And then ultimately, how do we work with the budget that we're given? And I don't mean that as a complaint. I'm just saying as a limitation. Advertising is extremely expensive. So one, can we use it very smartly? And we use it tied to metrics and data. And then how do we kind of increase that as we work our way through? And ultimately, the focus is the return on investment for our community. All right, so pending your approval, we'll take this as the framework We will finalize. I think Zach's done a couple version of it. We will create the booklet after this, and then really you'll see it show back up in things like the executive report and really the communication with the community. Because if people want to know kind of where the big focuses are, or in my old Army speak, where the buckets of focus, we've got 6 buckets in this one, so I need both hands now. But where are we really going to spend the time and the effort from a city staff and through our partnership to focus on economic development? So with that, I'll take your questions.
Thank you, sir. Questions, comments? Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for getting. I like the way you redid it too. I don't know how many of your commissioners helped or what, but I think it's the way you. I don't have the bullets, but you showed us the way you broke it down and the objectives and simplified that part of it. I like the way you did that. It's perfect, yeah.
That was the team back there, so.
Good job, guys. So thank you for doing that. Mm-hmm.
Any comments?
No? Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council.
I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? Hearing none. It is passed. And we'll go to item number 5, Councilman Myers.
Mr. Mayor, I move that Resolution 2025-059, appointing Ken Kilmurray to the City Council, said term to expire December 31st, 2026, be approved.
Second.
Been properly moved in second. Mr. Ken is not here. He's on vacation, but we will welcome him in, and I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? It is passed. Welcome, sir, if you're watching. And Councilwoman, item number 6, Councilwoman Landry.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that Resolution 2025-060, dissolution of the Transportation Commission, be approved.
Second.
Been properly moved in second. You want to speak anything on this one?
Yeah, okay, sure. Just a little background on it. In 2023, there were several changes to the structure of the commissions. And at that time, the Transportation Commission was established with surface transportation related focus areas related to airport, streets, bicycling and pedestrian infrastructure, and transit. And that was in relation to the general plan element 3, which is connectivity, transportation and circulation. So over the past 2 years, the membership of the Transportation Commission has remained mainly pilots with the primary interest in supporting the airport's economic growth, which is aligned with the current objective in City Council's strategic leadership plan. So the commission is currently attached to the Public Works Department, which is responsible for the operations of the airport facility, but not its economic development. So therefore, I believe that the most practical step would be the dissolution of the Transportation Commission and then a realignment of the mission of the other 2 commissions. So those members of the Transportation Commission that are most interested in airport economic growth could join the Economic Development Commission, and then the Neighborhood Commission could expand to include consideration of surface transport needs that are related to streets, bicycling and pedestrian infrastructure, and things such as multi-use path and sidewalk placement and transit.
Any other from the dais? We understand. And we've been talking about this for about a month now.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd like to say something.
Yes, ma'am.
Just to thank Councilmember Dr. Landry for coming up with a solution. So people didn't just keep spinning their wheels and not being able to do what they wanted to do.
Some overlap in some of the existing commissions, and then maybe in the future we can take a look at some of the other ones as well to kind of see if we can, streamline things a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? 5-1. All right. It is passed. Thank you. And we have our call to the public. We have 3 calls to the public tonight. Make sure. Yep, we have 3 calls to the public tonight. First is Karen Flynn. Good afternoon, ma'am. You have 5 minutes. You see a green light here, and at the red light, your time has expired, and you have your seat.
Mr. Mayor, council members, I'm Karen Flynn, and I live in front of the golf course's driving range. I have 2 issues to speak about. First, regarding the letter to the editor in yesterday's Herald Review that states that the city is allowing Paradigm, the course contractor, to declare essentially its entire monthly financial report to be proprietary is inexplicable. Just because a contractor asks for this doesn't mean the city has to agree to it. Hopefully, the city will respond publicly and explain that this is not the case. My years as a contracting officer taught me that some cost and indirect rate data is often proprietary, but monthly reports like this don't contain that type of data. To say that everything other than their total sales, total income, and amount owed to the city is proprietary is far-fetched. The city seems to be agreeing to every single thing that Paradigm asks for without any pushback, including about $100,000 in range lights that are, thankfully, not in use. In addition to the author of the letter to the editor, another member of the public requested a copy of Paradigm's business license 4 months after they began operating the course, only to be told that the city appreciated having this brought to their attention as the paperwork had not yet been submitted. This leads one to wonder, who is monitoring Paradigm's compliance with the requirements of this agreement? Because Paradigm immediately hired the son of the Parks and Rec director as one of its front office employees, surely the director isn't involved in monitoring compliance or approving requests from this contractor due to the obvious conflicts of interest. I've heard a number of comments about how fortunate the city is to have Paradigm offering programs for kids and other groups. Paradigm isn't offering these programs out of the goodness of its heart. They're required to by the agreement. For example, per paragraph 2P, Paradigm will develop a youth golf program that will be free to the public and run throughout the contract term. There are many more requirements, but if the city isn't monitoring their performance, no one will know if Paradigm is performing them. The contractor is supposed to provide an annual agronomic plan, follow certain irrigation practices, and have operating hours that are approved by the city. Has Paradigm provided these? If so, does anyone on the staff have the knowledge to know if these plans and practices are appropriate for this course? Until the city brings on a consultant or has unbiased internal expertise, Paradigm is going to continue to take advantage of this situation. My second issue is regarding the ongoing light intrusion into the neighborhood since the range opened. City Ordinance 151-11-004 states, in part, all exterior light fixtures shall be fully shielded. It says light trespass and glare into adjoining properties shall be minimized. The next paragraph states lighting shall be oriented to direct light away from adjoining residential zones. Where standard light shielding is insufficient to protect from light trespassing, additional shielding may be required. If you've had a chance to visit the range at night, you'll see that neither the fixtures under the roof nor the lightsabers on the range are fully shielded, nor is light trespass into adjoining properties minimized. Additional shielding is needed. It's easier to show this to you than to explain it. First, a definition of fully shielded is that the light source, the bulb, is not visible from above or the sides. And I brought my little lights here. This is a light that's fully shielded. You can't see underneath, nothing's emitting from the sides. This is an example of a light that's not fully shielded. You can see light all through the sides. This is what most of the lights in the structure are like, except of course they're much bigger and much brighter. They're installed in 2 rows. Let's pretend this is the roof, on the front of the roof line and farther back. If the roof had been installed at a very low angle and the lights had been placed in between supports, they wouldn't be visible. But the city used the same design as on the Mesa course that Paradigm manages, which has this roof at a steep angle. All of the light intrudes into the neighborhood for several hours after dark every single night of the year. These lights need to be shielded. Then there are 12 lightsabers on the range itself. They're 8 feet tall, which is taller than this. But the light is visible 360 degrees around, not just 180 degrees like this. They're on until 9:30 p.m. every night of the year. These lights need to be shielded. And I had a nice little summary, but I see my time is up. So thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And our next call to the public is Dr. Richard Rhodes.
I have copies for the council.
Sir, you have 5 minutes. You'll see the green light, red light. Your time has expired.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, good afternoon. My name is Dr. Richard Rhodes, and I am the chairman of the Transportation Commission, or I guess I was. On behalf of myself and my fellow commissioners, we were surprised and disappointed to receive an email late in the afternoon last Thursday, prior to a long holiday weekend, advising us of Councilwoman Landry's proposed resolution to disband the Transportation Commission. As the proposed resolution was dated several days prior and the city manager had already recommended approval, we can only assume that in the short time period given us for any reaction prior to the scheduled vote at this meeting was by design. But the real issue here is not the disingenuous way the commission members were advised of this proposed resolution. The real issue is the stated rationale for the decision. In paragraph 3 of the resolution, Councilwoman Landry correctly observes that the membership of the Transportation Commission has remained mainly pilots, myself included. Each member of the commission identified their education and experiences prior to their appointment. Our appointments were approved not only by the sitting commission members, but also by this council. Dr. Landry, however, Dr. Landry, however, incorrectly states that the commission has a primary interest in supporting the airport's economic growth. Certainly, the economic viability of the Sierra Vista Municipal Airport has been a concern for the commission, as it should be for this council and the city in general. However, the commission has spent at least as much time, probably more, in discussion of the city's streets, bicycling, pedestrian, infrastructure, and transit, as the General Plan Element 3, Connectivity, Transportation, and Circulation directs. Indeed, one entire meeting was conducted at the Sierra Vista Transit Center to better understand the operation and concerns of the city bus program. Long, sometimes passionate discussions have been held attempting to realize the economic benefit of extending shuttle bus service from Fort Huachuca to the business districts in Sierra Vista. Recommendations have been made unsuccessfully, to consider shuttle bus service from satellite parking locations to Veterans Park for large events such as the recent well-attended 4th of July celebration, as well as Art in the Park, Christmas tree lighting, and other events. Several of our meetings have been devoted to understanding the history of and possibility of reestablishing Sierra Vista as an interstate commercial bus, that is Greyhound hub. It is patently unfair and inaccurate to characterize the Commission's interest as primarily airport economic development. I would suggest that as opposed to disbanding the Transportation Commission, the Council should reconsider the 2023 decision to include surface transportation-related focus areas and return the focus of the Commission to be airport-centric, an airport commission focused not only on the economic growth and development of the airport, but also joint use operational concerns, which by necessity would include improved interactions with the Army and Fort Huachuca leadership. The current members of the Transportation Commission are, without exception, accomplished, experienced, and knowledgeable professionals who have volunteered their talents in a desire to improve the city of Sierra Vista. They and the city deserve better than the sucker punch proposed in this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Our next call to the public is Mr. Anthony Isom. Good afternoon, sir. You have 5 minutes. Green light comes on, red light, your time has expired.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. I appreciate you giving me the time to talk about this, but the subject has already been touched on by previous discussion this afternoon. I'm here to talk to you about bus transportation, specifically the Brown Line on Fort Huachuca. I must caveat what I'm about to say by saying I'm not speaking on behalf of the Transportation Commission, but as a private citizen. According to Google, the militaryinstallations.com and the Fort Huachuca webpage, Sierra Vista annexed Fort Huachuca in 1971. Therefore, the residents of Fort Huachuca the members of the United States military service are counted in the Sierra Vista census. Currently, we have 5,600 military personnel approximately stationed on Fort Huachuca. Add to that an additional 11,000 family members. There are approximately 5,000 civilian employees on the fort. And on every given day, according to statistics, there are approximately 18,000 personnel, both military and civilian, on Fort Huachuca. The brown line was discontinued. There's a need for military service members to have transportation in and around the city. Military service members are among the most marginalized citizens of this community. Convenient access to public transportation is needed for family members, especially when sponsors are deployed or on temporary duty assignments, leaving their family members here on Fort Huachuca possibly without transportation. Military family members and military soldiers need convenient access to public transportation from the barracks, from family housing, and from the hotel on post for shopping, entertainment, and access to the hospital, employment areas, and Cochise College and University of Arizona South. Civilian employees on Fort Huachuca can also benefit by having an alternative means of getting to work. The Post movie theater has been closed, yet the Cinemark 10 at the mall offers multiple movie entertainment choices. But how are the people to get there? Thunder Mountain Activity Centers used to be the NCO Club, has been repurposed to support the border security operations of the Department of Homeland Security. I have seen soldiers walking off post, off the main gate, in an effort to get to the mall. I have seen people walking out of the main gate in an effort to get to Walmart and Safeway and Target. As I mentioned, these are some of the most marginalized people in our community, and we need to support them. Soldiers have been seen waiting at the Vista Transit bus stops on Fort Huachuca, sometimes in the rain and more often in the blazing sun, waiting for a bus that will never show up. This is a significant moral setback for the people that work on Fort Huachuca. Public transportation will provide a means for family members to seek and maintain employment in Sierra Vista. According to the Sky Island Regional Partnership and Foundation, also known as the Chamber of Commerce, access to public transportation for residents to businesses, entertainment, and places of employment could
Mr. Eisen,
could significant.
your time has expired.
So let me just say, where there's a will, there's a way. Let's not leave the impression that we don't care. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. And we go to our comments and requests from the council. We'll start off with Councilwoman Jackson.
I don't have anything, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Councilwoman Landry.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to thank everybody who came to the meeting this afternoon and shared their thoughts. It's always nice to see members of the public that come here tonight. I wanted to send out a congratulations to Officer Bowser for completing his probation period. I don't know if he was a little bit worried about that, but we're glad to see that he made it through. I also wanted to share a little bit about the Cochise Amateur Radio Association that's here in town. I think that if you've seen some of their trucks, I think you would recognize it. But they recently had their field day. They do that once a year about the end of June. And so I just want to share a little bit in case anybody wasn't aware of what they do. Amateur radio is often referred to as ham radio, and it's a licensed public service and hobby that allows their operators to communicate locally, nationally, and globally without reliance on traditional infrastructure like cell towers or the internet. They are an active part in the community all year round. A lot of their members volunteer their time and expertise to provide communications and support for numerous events, such as the Christmas Parade, Tour de Zona, the NAMI Sky Island Tour, and Bisbee 1000. I think they had their truck at the Sky Island Summit Challenge as well. So they do a lot of different things out there. And a lot of their members assist with emergency communications in Cochise County to help to ensure public safety and resilience during emergencies and disasters when some of the conventional communications may be disrupted. So it's really nice to have them in the area. If anybody's interested, I would definitely check them out, the Cochise Amateur Radio Association. They have their building, they're out on Mosen Road, but sometimes they're out in the public, and they go to the National Night Out as well. So if you see their truck out there, I would definitely take a look, and it's really amazing to see all the stuff that they have in there, all of their equipment that's ready for when if some things fail, then they're ready to help out. So I just wanted to give a shout out to them and bring their name out there. And then also wanted to remind everybody that the Hummingbird Triathlon is coming up in August. I think it's about the middle of August. It's always a really good event. You can do all by yourself if you're super ambitious, and it's always great to see all the people that do the whole thing by themselves. You can do a co-ed team, or you can do an all male or female team. They do the swim, the biking, and then the 5K. And so this year they also have a medal if you participate. And if you did the Sky Island Summit Challenge, the medal with the Hummingbird Triathlon, they connect. So it's the first year that they're doing that. So that's something that's really cool. So if anybody's interested in doing that, I would definitely check it out. You can find that event on Facebook, and you can go there to register. I think you have up until the 11th of August to register for that. So I would share it out if you know anybody that's interested, or if you're interested yourself. It's definitely a really good event, and there's a big turnout there. And then with that, I just wanted to say, be blessed and blessed be.
Excellent. Go to Councilman Myers.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. My comments are more personal in nature, just since my swear-in or, coming on board a couple of weeks ago. The reception I've received has been very genuine and warm, and I just want to say thank you for that from everyone, especially Maria and Jill, Rochella and Yvette have been very welcoming, and my apologies for the midnight invite the other day on the calendar.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. I won't let that happen again. That's all.
New guy problems.
You got
Right.
problems.
It's all good.
Councilman Rodriguez. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for our call to the public. It's always good to hear from the public to make the effort to come up here and talk to us. 4th of July was an amazing event. I'm sure other people will talk about it. Just some points that obviously the Rotaries work super hard on this every year. Fundraising. 6,000 shells were fired out there in the sky.
Yeah.
Look at our town, 45,000 people estimated, ish for a city. But man, 6,000 shells in a town like this, I challenge your city to our cities to a firework off. All right, because it was amazing. And yeah, I mean, from everything from Beat Troop, which I'm gonna talk about later, but salute to the Union, just amazing. All right, Pets and Promenade, one of my favorite.
Yes.
I love seeing those little pets out there. It was good. I saw the mayor out there. There was so many dogs this year, so shout out to everybody that brought their pets. And there was a bird and a cat. The 2 lateral officers new, so that says a lot to me. It says a lot about our city, about our department. When somebody decides to up and leave wherever they're from, whatever department they're with, to come to our city, so it's just it says a lot about our department, about our chief. So thank you. We've had a lot of MVAs, a lot of motor vehicle accidents the last few weeks, month. Seems like every day I see Cool FM, something. So our first responders are working hard out there. So Thanks to them. Our civilian officers, I see them out there directing traffic, even the sheriff assist team. Canyon Vista's involved. It's our that's a rural hospital that we have out here. Remember that. It's a rural hospital. It's very important to us. So I just love to see all that working together. And we're very fortunate to have everybody like that in our community. So thank you to them. Some employees of the year, I see them all the time. Ish, every time I go somewhere, I see Ish out there. So much deserved full-time employee of the year. I want his hair one day. I'm trying to grow my hair to match his. I'm trying to grow it. I'm gonna have hair as long as Ish's. And Debbie, the part-time employee of the year. So shout out to both of them. They're awesome people. We're very lucky to have them. Animal Control got a pelican this past weekend. I don't think obviously they migrate over our town all the time, but this one just ran out of gas and just kind of.
The monsoon takes them off course.
Monsoon took them off course. Okay, so it was amazing to see a pelican in our city, just on the ground, and our animal control jumped in and took care of that pelican. So they named him Pat the Pelican. So shout out to Pat for stopping by. He heard about our awesome city. I don't know what happened to Pat. I think they shoot him off.
Oh, poor Pat. Oh, my gosh.
Shout out to Pat. So we're not only the hummingbird capital of the United States, but we're also a pelican stop, in case you didn't know.
Pelican Hub.
Pelican Hub. Thank you. There's a summer night concert series tonight at the park, 6:30, 7:30. Big band style music, desert swing. Bring your chairs, bring your umbrellas, because you never know this time of year what's going to happen, but the show always goes on. So go check that out. I always recommend that. I've been out to the golf course, checking out their upgrades, checking out their trailer. Every time I go out there, I'm welcome. Either Mitch, Samir, Jackson, all those guys working out there, they're doing a great job. I love that you can order food, and they'll bring it out there from inside. They put up these signs outside because some people, it's kind of dark out there. So when you come at night, there's a sign that says, "Hey, we're closed, but go around." So I appreciate those signs so people aren't just turning around and leaving, because they can go to the trailer and get taken care of. Some cool events. They had the showdown competition that the mayor was part of in the beginning. Didn't make it to the end. But Maddie, who teaches youth out there, was a big winner. So that was really cool. The whole range was packed. It was good to see that.
There was not a non-golfer that won.
No, she was a golfer. She teaches the youth.
Right. Because I didn't want Jeff to win.
Jeff got a lucky shot.
Yeah, got a lucky shot.
He almost won. I don't know. Anyway, so they've been doing a lot of stuff out there. So I'm super excited. This weekend, beginners golf, Saturday, July 12th. It starts at 5 p.m. So it's a new league starting up. If you're a beginner, if you know nothing about golf, you don't have clubs, show up. Just check it out. Maybe it's for you, maybe it's not, but nobody's going to judge you. That's the kind of club they have now. It's not the old way. So check it out if you're new to golf, and they will take care of you this Saturday, 12 p.m. Join that league. And there's also a lot of stuff for the kids to do. There's cornhole. There's this little fake axe throwing with the little soft axes. And so if you're worried about what are my kids going to do with it, trust me, every time I go out there, those kids are busy. They love it. They're throwing cornhole. They're throwing axes or whatever. So a lot of stuff going on that I really love. Every time I go out there, there's something new. I just want to talk about our appointment selection process. Thank you to everybody who applied. There was so many people that we had. It was tough competition, as it was. It's always special to me because I went through that process in the beginning to get appointed before I got elected. So it's really good to see that both sides of that. And it was tough. And we got a lot of good points from talking to the people that interviewed, that brought up good points to us. That we're going to make sure we follow through, and because that's another time we can have to talk to the public, because they are the public too. And so they had a lot of great ideas and ambitions and thoughts. So we've take mental notes of that, and we're going to follow up on those. So congrats to everybody that got selected. Myers right here, who also got to be the process. It's kind of cool. One day you're on that side, the next day you're on that side. So that was interesting and super cool. And then we'll see Ken soon. Hope he's enjoying his vacation. And then some sadder things here. So a lot of floods going on throughout the U.S. So everywhere, really bad one in Texas, New Mexico, East Coast. So just, my thoughts and prayers are out to all the family out there, all the first responders that are working throughout the U.S. We even have first responders from Mexico coming to help. Everybody wants to help. And just my heart goes out to people that haven't been found yet. And I hope that their family gets some kind of closure sometime soon. So just thinking about them. And thank you for the people that are just working tirelessly night and day for those disasters. And then the last thing we'll talk about is we've all heard about the disbanding of B Troop. So obviously it touches everybody. It's a sentimental thing, but it's also a super important part of our history that I think is very important. So You know, I've had some discussions with people. Some people reached out to me saying, "Hey, how can we save this? Is there anything we can do?" You know, and what I would like to do is, and I've requested to have a meeting with some people and say, "Look, let's have a community public meeting. See if there's anything we can do at all, because there is some possibility of some things we can do." I'm not saying the city's going to jump in and pay for everything and do that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if we have enough people in the community that can help, maybe we can give it our best shot. But at least we know we did that, because that is so important to our entire community. I mean, just if you went to 4th of July and you see that, that's one of my favorite things, is Beachy walking up and giving the proclamations to the mayor, you know, them firing the cannons. That's one of the whole reasons I had a retirement ceremony. Right. I wasn't going to go to, I was going to have a retirement. I was going to go. I'm like, take me off the list. But one, they said, do it for your family. And two, they said they're going to do a charge. I'm like, you know what? I will do that ceremony.
And they've been there forever.
And they've done it, right? So that's, yeah. And it's just one of the things I look forward to every ceremony, is seeing that charge. So to see that go away is heartbreaking. And I get it. We all understand there's budget cuts, and the fort has to do what they have to do, and they're just taking orders. And I understand that 100%. But if there's any way we can save it, and there's some community members that want to do what they can do, and they've offered to put their money where their heart is, then maybe we can do something. So hopefully we can save something along with that. Just same thing along the line with the museums being closed. There's just so much history that we need to see what we can hold on to, if anything, because it's super important for our community. You know, we're the true home of the Buffalo Soldiers. Yes. This is the edge of the frontier. All those things, we cannot let that go. So that's all I have to say, and have a great night.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, Pro Tem.
I'm gonna echo everything.
Oh, yeah, I'm
you just said. Yeah, I want to also welcome Ken, even though he can't be here, cause I think he's out of state. But we look forward to working with him. I was going to say the same thing. Really impressed with all the interviews, and Brian was awesome. He just jumped right in, and I think we made a great choice. We couldn't make a bad one at that point, and I love that. And then yesterday was the U.S. Army's Warrant Officer Corps 107th birthday, so I want to give a special shout out to my favorite warrant officer, C.W. Flowers. Mayor calls him Chief. Chief. Yep. And that's it. Thank you.
Well, so school is about to start, huh, Marcus?
Oh, thank goodness.
July 30th.
Got two seniors now.
Two seniors.
Lord help me.
And on July 30th at 6:15, we have invited 100 men. We're doing 100 men in suits again. So we're going down there and welcome all the seniors back into school. Another fantastic school year. Both chiefs will be with us. Councilmen and members of the public will come down and just welcome another great year. You're going to have a great year, Marcus. Looking forward to what the future has for you. Happy birthday to Ramona. She is
21.
Yeah, 21, somewhere around there. I think she's watching. So happy birthday to her. And also welcome to the Little League World Series.
Yeah.
That's going to be exciting. I'll be up there tomorrow night doing my Photoshop pictures. So we're looking forward to seeing them all weekend. And I echo definitely what you said, Councilman Rodriguez, about B Troop. They did the charge when I retired, when my wife retired, when my dad retired back in '82. So that's just so sad to see them go away. But yes, we have to, as a community, come together and see what we can do to prolong them being a part of this community. So with that, we are dismissed.